Bundaberg town centre, and we got a obelisk there. Big brass plaque. I mean, it's massive. So it all came tumbling down. Tumble, 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 tumble. All the king's men and all the king's horses couldn't put Humpty together again. So, big hugs to you, Madison King. Most legend video I have seen in a long time. You take in the footsteps of Lana, the solicitor from the Bar Association in Victoria, or lawyer, don't know. But we see this crumbling face of communism falling apart. And today it's a short one because I just want to address Madison's comments. This girl's a legend. We can see what Australia is in black and white just through her voice alone. It's legend. She knows herself, and this is the best part about it. She knows herself. She's not playing some WEF partner games. She's not listening to communists. She knows herself. So today we'll just have a look at this short video, and I'll go back to a microphone because we're going to comment on this video. This video is great. Love it. So many things to say. So many things to say, Albo. So many things to say as your little machine cracks at the face. Right? And the military might look at you. Or is it AUKUS that's in trouble? Is it AUKUS that's in trouble? The Commonwealth and America that's in trouble here. Doesn't sound like it coming from Madison's voice. So this girl went with God instead of all the clown show around her. She went with her gods, and she knew herself. So this is one of the most important videos of the modern age in relation to all of these politicians and these military men and these people gaslighting you and mind manipulating you over the last 5 years into some sort of submission and giving up your rights that you fail to assert. So let's watch Madison assert some rights here, assert herself here. Triple down, girl, because keep going. You're kind of on the right track, but there are money men behind it that want to mine everything, and they might have conned these, what did you call them? The purple circle? I've never heard that term before. The purple circle. I think that's kind of appropriate, given that they are a minority of Lydia types. This is, remember? Now, in England, a politician was charged for inciting sort of violence, whereas Lydia just gets this sort of green card to go ahead and do that sort of stuff. I wonder why. Madison, I wonder why. Are you at along with Lydia and all of her greeny left, her communist socialist left? Are you in line with all of that? You're talking about a minority of people manipulating you, and we might as well call them the black privilege. The people inside the parliament that have an idea of what's going on inside the executive branches of government and manipulate it against everyone because they get a backhand. They get a backhand. Welcome to country, pay me $5,000. I did the dancing for you. I sold my soul for you. Give me the dollars. And you're right about Ernie Dingo setting all of that up, but you have to look behind Ernie Dingo. So let's go over this video and have a little bit of word games.
Watch me double down. See, Richard Wally and Ernie Dingo started this when they were inviting our New Zealand brothers from New Zealand, the Maori mob. So the thing is, they couldn't compete with New Zealand, so they had to make up bullshit.
Now, I met Ernie once. Probably dig a photo out. I'm not sure how good a photo it'll be. But I never met a more arrogant man. And at the time, everyone around him was giving him a slur, which I don't know if he heard, but he always played it off. And I'm going to put it up on the screen. In Australia, the term coconut is a derogatory term used against Indigenous Australians, usually, although not always, by other Indigenous people, to imply a betrayal of their Aboriginal identity. And that would be correct, because they all called you a coconut. You were brown on the outside and white in the middle. The interesting part there is that it's your own culture berating you for selling out. Now, this is quite funny in relation to this welcome to country. I want my own haka, said Ernie Dingo, on behalf of hundreds of different Aboriginal tribal distinctions around the country. He wanted to haka. So, Korea. Dingo rose to fame when he controversially collaborated with Richard Wally to create a public performance of the Welcome to Country ceremony in Perth in 1976, after dancers from the Pacific Islands would not perform without one. I'm assuming New Zealand and the haka. As an Australian national living treasure, national administrative tool, he promoted the generation One Hand Across Australia. One hand across Australia. Always was, always will be one hand across Australia. This man is the downfall of this Indigenous claim back to 1967, wherein the Aborigine had a right of title, a land claim to be made before any administrator enforced upon them some sort of citizenship. Now, we could go into depth on that, and we have in the past, and we can see now it's starting to become a little bit clearer in a lot of your minds that we've been talking about these sorts of things for a very long time, but it's just now that family Australia, like general middle class Australia, is starting to twig on to something isn't right in their country, and it's at that point where you have to make a decision. Are you going to act in your own heart with your own God, or are you going to continue listening to these money men?
First and foremost, there was never any smoking ceremony for anybody. You don't go into a community and expect the whole community to come out and smoke you. You mob are dumb. You guys are dumb. You think the whole community is going to stop just for a couple of people and come in there and smoke you? That's not how it works. So your theory that it happens is bullshit. Secondly, smoking is about bringing in spirits or getting rid of them. Either way, it's about spirits. So all you Christian people that was walking through smoke, well, you're inviting the dead, and that's that simple.
So, we talk about these things. Ashes, right, Madison? Ashes. Us Christian men need to know what? Those heathens out there need to know. not us. So Uncle Cecil will be able to explain this to you, Uncle Gilbert. There be dead people in this jar, with grace, no disrespect, but just to be blunt and to the point. And then I'll try and find a video. Apologies if I can't find it.
For Di, the opportunity to offer Aboriginal inmates some comfort is an important part of her job that connects with her own beliefs.
I'm a Christian, but I'm also Aboriginal, and most people have major issues with seeing how on earth you could believe in a Biami, the Great Spirit, and God. In my books, they're both the same person.
Today, I think we got together a smoking ceremony, my brother. Yeah, smoking ceremony for the boys, you know. All the boys over there, they're all having a jolly good day.
I've decided to have the circle tonight because we've had a lot of deaths in the community. We've actually had, in this area here, probably 4 or 5 elders who have passed away. All of you guys have had deaths in your families recently. Is that right? Yeah, okay. We remember Uncle Kelvin. We remember Uncle Les, who came in to do art in here.
Auntie Di here could tell a story or 3, couldn't you, Di? So here you're seeing Di host a smoking ceremony for all of the blackfellas inside the jail system, the jail system that equals the torture chamber that we spoke of in the Sky News story. They are affected equally as much as those sons of the Anzac, because the same mean machine manipulates the sovereignty out of all of us.
Thirdly, when, this is the disappointment with the old people that sat around and did nothing. This is the outcome. When you let a lie go on for that long, that people now think it's real, that this is what our culture is. Now it's just by entertainment. You look at all these people that go into boxing rings clapping sticks. Shame job. That's not our culture. And going out into football fields, carrying on with didgeridoos. Well, guess what? Didgeridoo only came from one area, and that's from the Northern Territory.
She's right. This comes from Arnhem Land. Now they sell these as touristy gimmicks all over the country. This one cost me like $3,500 because it's a musical instrument. So like you can play it properly, easily. Whereas they sell all of these gimmicks. See, the goats.
It's one thing to do little entertainments, but put things into perspective. That's not our culture. We didn't just go around and have crobberies and stuff whenever we felt like it. There is a purpose and a meaning for it. And what an insult to all the mob that do crobbery still as a tradition, while you mob make a mockery out of it and turn it into entertainment and for money purposes. So yeah, I'm doubling down, and I'll continue to double down. And a lot of our language has been taken from the north down here to Noongar country, and it was being used at one point. My grandmother was one of those people that spoke up, and she said, you mob better stop it.
Now, I don't want to have a go at Ernie Dingo. It's not about Ernie, but it is about Ernie being used. Now, I was in Darwin, and this slur, this longgrasser, the longgrasser is a slur for people living in the long grass. And we can see that there is a history here with Ernie and that long grass when Madison says, you mob. So it has something to do with bringing some ocean culture where the city is down into the bush.
So we all know that Noongar country lost their language a long time ago. Listen to their language. Listen to it. It's repetitive. Clutching at straws. And that's Richard Wally and Ernie Dingo. At the end of the day, Aboriginal people from communities, we humble people. We don't need recognition. That is modern day shit. Modern day stuff that's taken away and bastardizing our culture and our traditions so that you will feel better about yourself. Well, you go to a community and you see how different the mob are compared to people in the city that will milk our culture and tradition for money. Now, I've had lots of people inbox me and tell me that in some cases, people are making up to $5,000 to $50,000 per show. Per show. Now, you think them people in the community are making that money? No. It's the purple circle. So when you go around clapping for all these people, you're clapping for only a small group of people. We already see in Aboriginal corporations our money being used and spent by the purple circle. They're not looking after our mob. So spare me the bullshit and watch me keep talking. I'll keep talking. Because there's a lot of families down here that don't know their culture. And we all know all these people in high government positions, private entities, private sectors, these are the same people. Some of them don't even have qualification, but they're sitting there nice and pretty, while the rest of their mob get nothing. So spare me the bullshit. And you know what? Leave. You guys don't like it, get up and leave. You don't have to be there. And if they are forcing you to do acknowledgement or welcome to country in your workplace, take them to court. You have a right to take these mob to court. You don't have to sit there and do anything. You don't want to call you racist, whatever. They call me racist and I'm black. So, whatever. Let them take you to court and you fight back. But this is the only way it's going to stop. Fight back.
See, that was quite interesting, right? Now I've travelled this whole country, worked in Alice Springs, lived in Darwin, been up the Cape, been everywhere, man. And the only greed I've seen comes out of the East Coast, and there always was, always will be, greeny, left-supported political agenda. And it is the mind manipulating of city Aboriginals into the belief that they can tanty for something when there are real tribes out there that have kept their culture. I'm not having a go at city Aboriginals here who could remember their culture, but we're now looking at a city, not men, a city. All different cultures living in that city, all need to be looked after in some sort of legal capacity, right? So there is this still a requirement to manage something, but we look at what it is that is managed by who, and we look at why this lefty, greeny, always was manipulative purple circle exists. Why your Lydias are in Parliament in the first place, helped by the Greens to get there, right? Given the seat by the Greens, literally, to get there. So some sort of slipping in the back door, while you have Linda Burney just completely separated at mind from the reality of culture on the ground. She's a politician, a career politician. The purple circle, the Nidocwick purple circle, right? Everything that comes out of the government is mental health for you. Poor little children can't figure out who they are. Shall we celebrate them? Maybe they'll wake up in a celebration event. Apparently not. Until Madison came along with the words and went, slap down! There you go, Elbow. All your stuff's full of shit. Communist ideologies brought here to undermine the offices of Governor General, Prime Minister, Attorney General, Solicitor General, and manipulate the people out of everything they are. They are. Forget about what they own, Elbow. You took an identity away from them on behalf of who, which is considered to be genocide at international law, to stop a people who exist from remembering who they are, is considered to be genocide. So when we look at the torture chambers and we look at the actions of some of your masters overseas, we could add 2 and 2 together here, Elbow. Over the last 75 years of peacekeeping, who out of existence, lest ye forget and manipulate their history and tell them their flag's wrong and tell them all these things are wrong while operating under a foreign great seal to the Constitution under letters patent 1900, wherein that office was formulated and given said great seal in the first. Interesting that, right, Elbow? Interesting that. When we now have a smackdown from Madison calling you porcupines out very loudly to the world. So everybody, there you go. Punch it forward, rein it in. That's all you need to do, not literally, no violence. Because we have Tommy Robinson coming home from Mallorca back to London trying to rally the troops outside the Parliament House instead of teaching his men how to be the masters of England. Madison's the master of her country. Listen to her.